What's up, YouTube? We're back with another episode of What the Hell Am I Doing? Today, I've got a really cool place for you guys. This place was built way back in 1988. It's been sitting abandoned now for a couple of years, and it's going to be redeveloped into something completely different. The place I'm talking about is this amazing, huge, beautiful home behind me here. I think this one's going to be absolutely mind-blowing. So why don't we take a walk around the property and then get inside and see what we can figure out about this place. All right, guys, we're going to start today's adventure just outside the front of the house here at the end of the driveway. We're going to take a quick walk around the property, and then we'll work our way inside and see what we can figure out about this one. Like I mentioned in the introduction, this home was constructed in 1988, and it's sitting here abandoned as it awaits its demolition to be redeveloped into something new. From the looks of things, you can see this is an absolutely incredible home from its era. It's a really big, luxurious place. Got a beautiful 3-car garage. Got an incredible front porch there that runs the length of the home, and it's got tons of windows and absolutely beautiful brickwork. This is just an absolutely incredible home, really inviting looking place, an absolute beauty that many people would dream to live in. It's really kind of hard to believe that a house like this will be torn down. And this place is one of those rarities from the past which has an absolutely massive property. As I pan around here, you can see this is the front lawn. They got a couple of gates coming into the home. They got lots of tree coverage for privacy. You got some beautiful maples at the side of the driveway there. And of course you got the house here. But as you can see, this place has a beautiful chunk of land with it. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if they either built something really huge here or divvied the land up and built a couple of houses similar in size here. As we walk up to the front door, just an amazing double door going into the house. I love the archway that has a little bit of shelter in front of the door here. That's really nice. These doors right away look like they're probably 90s doors with that metal work in them. They look a little bit more modern than when the house would have been built. But yeah, look at this. It's absolutely incredible patio or porch or whatever you want to call this. They have slate, like a slate flooring on it. Of course, you got a couple windows there. You got like slate for the floor or the walkway here. You actually have marble leading up to the front door. And of course, you have marble stairs coming up here as well. But a really incredible space. This would be a great spot to spend your mornings, evenings, hanging out with friends. Really beautiful. And of course, they have these, looks like they're eagles, gargoyles or statues, whatever you want to call them. This might be an Italian home. Starting to look that way in my opinion. And of course, you have that here too. So we'll take a walk around the back. I don't want to spend too much time out here. It is getting dark and we still got to do the house. But I do want to show you guys the scope of this. So they have tons of tree coverage over here. And as you can see, the house goes all the way back there. The property goes all the way back to that house back there. But before we go there, I see there's a structure over here. So why don't we check this out, see what it is. It's a beautiful day. It's the 1st of September. Summer's starting to come to an end, unfortunately, and the sun is going down much earlier than we're used to. So this will probably be dark by the time we're done here. That doesn't happen very often, so I hope you guys enjoy this special edition of urban exploring. And look at this. You come to this area here, and they've got a pool. Look at the pool. You can see it's been sitting like this for quite some time. You can see the bullfrogs are jumping around in there. Really terrible condition for the pool. This looks like more than 2 years, but maybe they just didn't care about it anymore. Maybe they got bought out. And look at this cool, like, sheltered area. You'd have chairs for your guests. There's a table still here. This is really neat. The overgrowth here is really wild. Again, kind of supports my theory that maybe they didn't care about this place for a while. You got a storage room over here. And this is where the pump and the treatment for the water was. And you got the ladders for the pool. Of course, this end here is the deep end. You got the diving board. That's really unreal. What a sight. Okay, let's work our way back to the house now. We've got to check out the backyard. Again, I don't want to spend too much time out here. It's going to be dark soon. Hope you guys understand. So from here, we'll work our way back over this way. Again, I got to say, it's really neat how they kind of gave the pool area privacy using trees. And I mean, they already have a line of privacy here. Strange. Wonder why they did that. So as you come through these trees, you end up in this part of the backyard. And we're not going to go all the way back there, but I'll show you. The yard extends all the way to those trees just in front of that house. You can see it goes all the way to those trees there. It's a very big, beautiful yard. And of course, you got the house right there. When I just go from a different angle so you can see the back a little better. Oh, wow. Looks like they have a sunroom. That's pretty cool. We'll have to check that out when we get inside. You know what? Before we go in, show you guys the back deck. It's really big. Love a beautiful deck. This one looks like it's not too rough. Again, the place hasn't been empty too long. But yeah, this is a beautiful back deck. Got a nice bay window looking into the house there. Kitchen looks like it has a breakfast nook or something in this part here, and you got a couple of windows letting in a lot of light. But just a beautiful deck. Almost runs the length of the back of the house. As you come over here, it's got a walkout area here. Sliding door going in. I guess this would have been where they kept the barbecue. And again, look at the overgrowth. Place is being completely taken over. I wonder if this could happen in 2 years. You guys tell me. You think this has been 2 years or has it been a little longer? But yeah, look at that. That's the sunroom there. Tons of overgrowth starting to cover it. I think this is going to be really wild to get into. So on that note, guys, I think it's time to stop dilly-dallying out here. I think we work our way inside and see what we can figure out about this place. All right, guys, we're gonna start this one just inside the front door here in this incredible front foyer of this home. We're gonna take a walk around the first floor, we'll work our way upstairs, and we'll finish one off downstairs. Like I mentioned outside, this incredible home was constructed back in 1988, and it's been sitting abandoned now for at least a couple of years, maybe a little longer from what we saw outside. But you can see, this is an incredible home that's absolutely beautiful inside, and it's really shocking to see a home like this sitting abandoned as long as it's been and still have the power on as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. I think this is going to be an incredible adventure. So why don't you enjoy some popcorn, sit back and relax as we go through this beautiful mansion. So right away when you enter the home, you're greeted with this incredible staircase that goes upstairs. I mean, it's really beautiful. It's got an incredible banister, very typical from the 80s with those spindles and the railing they used. And it's stained beautifully dark and varnished, which I absolutely love. Goes upstairs, and look at that. Goes all the way around. There's even a little walkout part here. Look out the front windows, and they got another beautiful banister up there. Of course, you can't look up there without acknowledging this incredible chandelier that's hanging right from the skylight that's in this incredible foyer. Like, this is just one of the most beautiful entries to a home I think I've seen in a long time. Like, this is one of the top ones we've done for this channel for sure. Of course, when we did the walk around out front, I pointed out these doors to you guys. I mentioned that they're probably like 90s doors. I stick with that opinion. They do look modern compared to the rest of the house, or, you know, from the era that the house was from, but they're beautiful. Look at that metalwork that you can see in the door outside. Look at the way it looks through the opaque covering that they have on the inside, giving privacy. It's like a privacy covering. Really beautiful, almost like shadow-like effect. Really like that. And of course, if you're doubting how old this place is, I'll show you guys, but a lot of the fixtures and lights are going to look like that. And as I do that, beautiful crown molding. Look at the detail in that. Absolutely beautiful. And of course, they have Art Deco, you know, door trim. That's obviously not from that era, but it's supposed to look it, and it's beautiful. So when you enter this home, right away you're greeted with two closets. They're both mirrored. So obviously they're going to have lots of storage space for the guests and the people who live here to put their things. And that's really cool. I like the mirrored space. You always get the last second look at yourself before you leave to make sure your outfit and everything is right. So that's really cool. Really like this. This is just an absolutely incredible way to enter a home. It really kind of blows my mind. And just like outside, I got to show you guys this too. They had marble tile coming up the stairs to the front door like a runner. You come inside and the house has marble tile running throughout the first floor. So as soon as you walk in this foyer, to your left here, you have like a bit of a formal room, I would say. This is probably a dining room. Reason I say that, you got the beautiful retro chandelier hanging from the medallion. Again, the room features incredible crown molding, just like what we saw at the front door there. But this room is also off the kitchen. So I would say this is more of a formal dining space in this room here. And that's what this is. It's not an absolutely huge room, surprisingly, because this house is really big. But you can see it's a beautiful space. You got the beautiful hardwood floors. Of course, the chandelier, like I mentioned. And depending where you sit at the table, you get an incredible view looking out at that front hallway, which is pretty nice. And again, just look at this view from this perspective. I'll try to show you this as many ways as I can. It's just so beautiful. I love that skylight. All right, well, since we're in the dining room here, why don't we work this way first? Well, that's neat. Those look like 90s era light switch covers. That's pretty cool. It's probably porcelain or something. And as we enter this kitchen space, you can see there's a lot of storage here. They have some generic laminated shelving here, you know, probably for certain items, you know, cooking utilities or, you know, things that aren't really important to the kitchen. But then when you have these beautiful, you know, the actual cabinets, these were obviously spaces where they kept their food and, you know, stuff that they're going to cook. You can see these are a little bit older hinges with the plastic. So, you know, these are like 90s hinges. I wouldn't be surprised if this kitchen saw a renovation after it was built. And I say that now because look at the countertop. It's, you know, modern granite. So this is something that was very big, mid to late 90s into the 2000s. So I wouldn't be surprised if this space was actually renovated around, you know, say the year 2000, 2005. And that's why you're seeing, you know, hinges that look like that. And you got beautiful knobs and handles on the cupboards. Good indication some things have changed. And as I'm here, you look up, you can see there is some trouble here. If you guys are thinking this place isn't abandoned, you got water stains there. You got water stains around the light. And it's actually rusting. And you've got mold too. So this place is definitely in trouble. And that's not a good sign. And again, I'll point out for you guys, they have beautiful crown molding in this area too. Looks like the crown molding is going to run through the entire house. I'm not going to point it out in every room, but I will point it out if it's different or if something surprises me. So as we go left off this hallway, this takes us to the laundry room space. And you can see they have two very modern machines here, the washer and the dryer. But everything else in here, very much stuck in time, very much original to the home. Oh, look at that, the hinges in here are the same too. But these are obviously cabinets from when they built the house. So maybe the cupboards in the kitchen are actually original to the house and they renovated other parts of the kitchen and just kept them. One of the cool things about this room is look at this tiling. Like it's late 70s, early 80s almost looking. Really kind of wild to see that in a home built in 88, if you ask me. It's kind of unusual looking tile. Of course, if I turn around here, got a double door here, and this would be a closet. And they left some shoes and things behind here. Another big closet, so they got lots of space here. And this would be a side entry going out to the yard, I guess. Let's go see. Oh no, this would have once went out to the yard, but this now takes you out to that incredible sunroom we were looking at out there. So why don't we take a quick look down here. You can see these are the old steps going into the house. So at one point in time, this would have been an outdoor space. All that interlocked stone was probably a patio at the back of the house. And you can see here, now you got a door going out to the yard just beside the deck where we were on a few moments ago. And of course, look at the overgrowth on those windows. We were looking at that outside. Look at the way it looks inside. I mean, it's from a lack of maintenance, but at the same time, it's beautiful. Really nice. And of course, you turn around this way and you can clearly see the basement window on a former exterior wall. You can see the dryer vent is venting into this room. They added an electric heater to heat the space, so obviously it was used year-round. Maybe they used, no, they wouldn't have grown in here, or maybe they did. The sun is setting that way. I mean, this wouldn't have been the best space for growing in the wintertime, so maybe they didn't. But it's quite a beautiful space. Beautiful hangout space for sure. I mean, if this was my house, this would be one of my favorite places in the house. I'd be out here all the time. I'd have a TV out here and couches, and this would be like the cigar lounge sports watching room. Like, it's just a beautiful room. And of course, here's a side door. We didn't actually check out this part of the yard, so I'll check this out with you now. Side door opens, and it just takes us out to the side of the house here. I'll just show you go around this way. And this takes you back to the deck area where we were. You see, we were up there earlier. Of course, here's another look at the sunroom from this side. Very beautiful space. And of course, if I go this way and walk beyond that garbage bin there, that takes me to the front driveway where we just were. And the garage doors are obviously just around the corner. So we'll go back in here now. It's warm in here. I'll tell you that, it's much warmer in this house than it is outside. So I guess this door here would take you into the garage. I guess it does. Oh, wow. A lot of stuff left behind. Garage also has a basement entrance exit, which is cool. You can see though, when the people left here, they were auctioning off a lot of the items. And it seems like no one took them. They're all still here. Or maybe these are the ones that never sold. Wow. Got central vac. That's a faux brick wall. But I like how they have the windowed wall there going to the basement. That's a feature you never see. It's kind of neat. And we're not going to go picking through all this stuff. This isn't what we're here for. That's the pool cover for that beautiful pool we saw earlier. Wow. Come out this way more, and you can see they have the beautiful solid oak doors. I point these doors out every time. These doors were very typical in homes of this era. Very beautiful doors. Very expensive doors. Looks like you have some dressers or nightstands sitting here. Very bizarre just seeing all this stuff left behind. Wow. Look at that. That's like a bed, I guess. Wow. Very interesting. The garage is full of stuff. All right, well, let's work our way back inside this house, continue this tour. I guess when we're done the basement part, we'll come up these stairs to finish the video. How's that sound? Last set. See, I don't know if these things are getting auctioned off or if these people just bought this stuff to stage the home and never did it. I like that violin. That's cool. That's very cool. Okay, let's work our way back up these stairs. Get into the house where maybe it's slightly cooler than this room. Let's continue to the kitchen. I know I teased you guys with the kitchen. Now we're actually going to take a look at it. And I got to also say, the doors in this home are quite beautiful. They're a little different than homes from the doors from this era as well. Sorry, I'm having trouble speaking today, guys. It's unusual. So yeah, we've already seen these cupboards. And like I just, figured out in the last room here, these hinges seem to be the same throughout the house. So most likely these cupboards or the doors and the cabinetry in this room are the same, but maybe just the hardware got upgraded. But as you come out here, you can see they did absolutely change things. I can almost guarantee you guys they did not have a countertop like this when this house was built. This is definitely a renovation later in time, as is the fridge. It's a much newer fridge. Well, they even have water in here still. That's cool. But yeah, it's a much newer fridge than the house. And I would assume that was part of a kitchen renovation, which would have brought in, the beautiful stonework, maybe a new range hood, possibly a new oven. It's missing. It's not a big kitchen space, but one thing I can say is the window looks out at the big, beautiful backyard. Window's a little off center, or the sink's a little off center. Sorry, I said that wrong. The kitchen sink looks out at the big, beautiful backyard, but the sink is a little off center from the window, which, as you guys know, drives me crazy. But it is a bit of a small space. Like the actual, I guess this is what I called the breakfast nook when we did the walk around here, because this area kind of sticks out, and this is where the table would be, as you can see by the incredibly over-the-top chandelier that's going to be 3 feet above the table. But this would have been the eating area, so I would assume this is like a breakfast nook. I'll just show you what I mean. This looks out at the deck here, and this was what I was referring to earlier. Of course, those are the sliding doors going out to the overgrown steps there. It's kind of hard to see. Well, yeah, I mean, like, this part of the kitchen gives the kitchen its size, but the actual working part of the kitchen is rather small. I mean, yes, every bit of all the perimeter of the kitchen has counter space, which is good. So you have lots of counter space, but this is a tight space. You couldn't have 2-3 people working in here without bumping into each other. Kind of a small kitchen for a big home. It's a little strange. Of course, they have a beautiful, well, I wouldn't say that's beautiful, but they have a very unique light hanging in here. And I'll just go through a couple of drawers or cupboards. I'm sure they're all going to be empty. Yeah, everything in here is going to be empty. I'm pretty sure there won't be much discovered, but oh, look at that. There is a little bit of stuff there. But yeah, we're not going to find too much looking through this place. You can see they even have a modern KitchenAid dishwasher here. And the flooring here, I wouldn't be surprised if this tile flooring is original to the house. It looks a little road worn. It looks a little tired. So this flooring is probably original, and probably the only real renovation to the kitchen were the appliances, the countertop, the backsplash, and probably that light. Interestingly, when you turn around, the kitchen has a nice window looking right into the laundry room. I've only seen this at a couple of houses. It's a very nice feature. It allows the light to pass through the house from all different areas. Also opens up the place, gives the illusion of size. And if you had guests hanging out there or your kids were in there, you could easily pass through to the food to them, which is a good thing. Of course, when you turn around here, the view here takes you back out to the hallway where the front door, foyer, and the foyer was. That's where we started the video there. But before we go that way, let's go this way and check out the family room properly. Again, the family room has beautiful flooring. It almost looks like cherry wood. It's very similar to the flooring we saw in that dining room at the front of the house. Of course, they have a nice ceiling fan in here to keep everybody comfortable when it's needed. And they got a very beautiful, yet dated looking fireplace. Look at that white angel stone brick or whatever it is. Very reflective and sparkly, but it's obviously something you don't see very much of at all anymore these days. And of course, you got the brass doors on the front, which obviously scream 1980s. And as I turn around here, you can see they got a beautiful bay window. I pointed that out outside. Now you can see it from inside. You got a bay window looking out at the deck and taking in that incredibly huge backyard view. And as we turn around again, just like every other part of this first floor so far, the crown molding runs throughout the home. It's all the same, which is cool. That's more than acceptable. It's very nice crown molding. It's a little surprising to see they've run it through the first floor everywhere so far. Obviously, these people had money. They had a lot of pride in this home, and it shows. As we go this way, we got another very formal looking space. I wouldn't call this the dining room though, because it's too far from the kitchen. This could be like a living room, I guess. A formal space, more like a living room would be more formal than a family room. So probably this is for special occasions where guests would come and kind of hang out and chill before dinner. And what an interesting chandelier. It's very vintage again. It's pretty neat. All the chandeliers in this house seem to look similar, which is cool. You can see they left their table behind here, but other than that, there's not a whole lot in this room. It's got the same hardwood floors as the family room behind me and the dining room on the other side of the hall. And of course, as you come over here, you got two beautiful windows looking out at the front porch. And of course, that lets in lots of light. There's tons of windows in the front of this house, So a ton of light gets into this place, which is amazing. Of course, as you come this way, it takes us right back to the front hallway here with this beautiful foyer and chandelier. And I gotta give you guys a good look at this. The chandelier is being supported by a beam in the skylight opening, which is incredible. I love the skylight in this house. That is absolutely amazing. You know how incredible this space was. Just look how elegant that looks, especially lit up. We're very fortunate this place has power still, so we got to enjoy that. Of course, this is the front door from this perspective. And you know what? The mirrored sliding doors there really kind of accentuate how cool the door looks. So from this point here, we could go downstairs or we're gonna go upstairs. And I already said we were gonna go downstairs last, so let's work our way up. Beautiful stairs here. The risers are painted white, but the actual steps are oak and they're stained and varnished, which is amazing. And as we go up, I'll give you a look at this chandelier again. Really pretty piece. I just love the skylight. But this looks really cool lit up, so I'm really thankful that the power's still on here. And I really like that balcony above the front door there. I really like that. I think that's a cool feature. It's actually really wasted space in the house, but I like it. I think it gives the house a little bit of a unique look in terms of, you know, how you could decorate the place. Just how the layout is. It feels different than anything I've ever seen before. So I'll back up here. I want you guys to get a full, proper look of this. The banister and the railings are just absolutely beautiful. You saw that coming up the stairs. Now you can see how they look up here. Absolutely incredible view. What a beautiful foyer. Beautiful home so far. And of course, that's looking down at the chandelier. So since we're at this side of the upstairs, why don't we check out the room behind me first? This is obviously the master bedroom. Very big room. It's not that wide. You can see they weren't fans of cleaning though. You can literally see the darkness of the dirt along the baseboards. Again, they got two big windows on the front side of the house here, letting in tons of light. The front of the house has tons of windows, like I've mentioned a couple of times. And as you go this way, this takes you out to the little balcony that's on the front side of the house that looks down at the foyer. And this is a really unique feature. I mean, you would never hang out here with guests. You would never really come here if you lived here. But you might have a couple chairs here or some plants. Or in this case, you got a couple cute stuffies just sitting there to make the place feel a little bit more comfortable in its empty state. But it's absolutely beautiful here. I love the windows. The windows in this house just absolutely open it up. It's a big place and it would be a bright place pretty much any time of the day as long as the sun is out. Again, you got a very 80s looking lamp there on the ceiling. Almost looks like it should be outside. Let's work our way back inside the room. There's a little bit of hack work there, by the way. So I'm starting to think the Art Deco stuff was probably done after the house was built. They probably had regular trim and somebody tried to make it look a little more fancy. They didn't do a great job, as you could see. So before we leave this room, you gotta go to the back side of it because it has an ensuite bathroom, I think. Look at that. So they have the Jack and Jill sink. And of course, they have the double mirrors in here as well. Okay, the Knob Goblin tried to steal that but didn't. And once again, the hinges are exactly the same on these cabinets. And these look like they came with the house. It has the false stone countertop, very common in the late 80s. And you can just tell by the look of the wood that these are 80s cabinets. So it looks like the ones in the kitchen were original and they just maybe put new knobs on them when they did the tile or the backsplash. When you turn around this room, the walk-in closet's in here. It's interesting though, they have tile in here which doesn't match anything else in this area. The bathroom has different tile. You can see this tile is definitely from the 80s. Very 80s looking in terms of its color and styling. You wouldn't see that now. And you got like a hanging cubby there, some shelf space there, and some hanging space there. It's a fairly decent sized walk-in closet. And as you continue this way, now we have the bathroom. And that's really cool, look at that. Again, it's all original tile from the floors to the tub area. But now some of this is starting to make sense. The tub tile actually matches the tile in the closet. Of course, you look around, some of the tiles have flower graphics on them, very typical from this era. And of course, it's not a jacuzzi. I was going to say they put a jacuzzi in here. It's just a very deep tub, but there's no jacuzzi, surprisingly. And what's strange and doesn't really fit this bathroom, very tiny sink here, and the storage space underneath it's very small too. And I've pointed these sinks out before. This one would literally maybe be able to hold a basketball. That's how small it is. Of course, you turn around from the tub here. You got a toilet in the corner here. The brown bomber has not been here, fortunately. And they've got a walk-in shower here too. And you can see from the styling of the door, this is something from the 80s. I've never actually seen a door with this kind of graphic on it before, but the actual structure of it's very typical of the ones I always point out as typical from the 80s. So it's kind of interesting to see a little bit of a change to that, even though the rest of it's similar. And the insert here is kind of neat. I've never seen a shower insert like this before. It literally looks like it's tiles, like it's got the impression that there's small tiles at the top and one by one tiles going down the wall. Pretty neat. One of the fanciest insert showers I've ever seen. I even like the storage there in the corner there for the shampoo and everything. That's kind of neat. Makes you wonder why they put it on the floor. Again, you can see this hasn't been changed. This is a Moen faucet from the 80s, and this shower is exactly as it was the day this house was built. So from here, we're going to work our way back out to the hallway now, and we'll start going around the upstairs, and then we'll go to the basement. Again, incredible view as soon as you leave the bedroom. Wow. Just a beautiful, beautiful home. Got another really vintage looking light up there. Of course, we got a room in the middle here, so we'll check this out. Now, all these rooms would be kids or guest rooms, obviously. We got a nice ceiling fan. That's kind of nice to see. You come out this way and they got not a walk-in closet, but they have a large closet. And this one also has a nice storage unit setup. Lots of shelving, a couple of hanging racks. I like that style of closet. It's very nice. Of course, this room has an incredible view of the backyard, which is getting harder to see now because it's getting dark out. And they left some stuff behind here too. I guess it wasn't valuable enough. And again, you can see all along the baseboards here, not a lot of cleaning took place, which is a little suspect. But like I mentioned out front with the weeds and the overgrowth and the pool, perhaps they got bought out a few years before they left and they just didn't care anymore. Leaving this room to the hallway also gives an incredible view. I'm not going to stop talking about it, guys. I'm sorry. It's just too beautiful not to point out. As we go further around this corner, we got another bedroom here. So again, this would be like a kid's or a guest room. I think the walls are pink. It's hard to tell with the light and without my glasses. So this could have been a girl's room perhaps at one point. You can see this room also has a ceiling fan. This one's a little bit older. This looks like something from the late 80s, early 90s. And of course, this room also has an incredible view of the backyard. One thing I should note, so far the bedrooms haven't had crown molding, unlike the first floor and the hallway of up here. So that's a little strange. But every door in the house has been this style of door. And these doors remind me of the doors you'd see in older homes from like the 80s or something. So that's cool. Or sorry, from like the early 1900s, late 1800s. You can see this closet here, very much like the other ones. Lots of storage space. You got rack space. It's very cool. So we go back out to the hallway here, and we got a bathroom on our right here. I think Ethan's coming in. So we got a bathroom on the right here. And again, you can see this bathroom has been unchanged since they built the house. You have the original cabinet doors. You have the faux stone countertop, but it's also a Jack and Jill setup too. Got a beautiful sink there. I really like these sinks, and I think those faucets are absolutely beautiful. Very vintage looking, even though they're probably not. These look like Home Depot mirrors. Perhaps they were staging the house. And of course, this bathroom has a fairly nice window looking out to the side, just over the sunroom there. And of course, you got the trees there for privacy. And the brown bomber hasn't been here either. So far this house hasn't been destroyed. Worth noting, this bathroom has a beautiful shower. Like, look at this. Obviously, this is a modernization probably from the last 15 years. I love the sliding glass door. Still very smooth and fluid. And the tile work in here, I'm a big fan of too. Looks like they were not a fan of cleaning again. I've said that a few times now. But I really like the color scheme of this shower. I like the tile work. And interestingly enough, even though they did do some modernizations, they kept the old Moen stuff from when the house was built. But this is a great shower. I really love those sliding doors. That's a great feature. Let's work our way back out to the front hallway here. We'll go down to the last room up here. Got a closet there. That's the linen closet for the house. Obviously, there's nothing in there now. And we got one more room. Looks like another kid's room. And this is a front-facing room again, and it's got all the windows like the rest of the front-facing rooms. Yeah, this is definitely a kid's room. You look around, you can see they put the LED lights up, so this would have been some kids' hangout for sure. Looks like they had a wall-mounted TV at one point in time. Over here, the closet will probably be like the rest of them. Yep, very similar. You can see they painted over wood there, which is not cool. So these doors probably would have looked better stained and varnished, but they painted them white for some reason. And yeah, the closet's exactly the same. Looks like some kids' socks down there. But yeah, very typical 80s kids' room, I'd say. You know, these bigger homes, they had bigger spaces. It's pretty nice. Of course, once again, when you leave this room, there's going to be an incredible view of the foyer, so I'll show you that from this angle too. Really beautiful stuff. Really incredible home, guys. Like, I'm really impressed with this one. I hope you guys are enjoying this one. One of the nicer places we've seen. Okay, let's work our way downstairs, and then we'll wrap this one up. Of course, that's the front door coming down the stairs. Alrighty. Ethan, is that you? I guess no one is here. Thought I heard somebody coming in. Strange. You guys heard that, didn't you? Huh. Well, good thing I came back here looking for them, because you know what? When we did the walk around, we missed the first floor bathroom because we went through the family room. So that was actually good. We heard a noise because now we get to see the rest of the first floor. Again, look at that. That's a really interesting retro chandelier type of light in the bathroom. These people obviously had money. And I honestly think this is an Italian home just from the styling and the statues and everything outside. It just seems like an Italian home from the 80s. And I'm sure the viewers that are Italian here will either be yelling at me now or saying, yes, it's absolutely an Italian home. But again, you got another bathroom here that's mostly unchanged since they built the place. You can literally see the cabinets are looking tired and worn. They're going to have the same hinges. Let's go over here. They're going to have the exact same hinges. Yep. So the only thing they changed in here is they put this beautiful stone granite countertop. And that's pretty much it. They put a different sink and a modern faucet. But otherwise, this bathroom has been unchanged. And the brown bomber hasn't been here either. They also put a Home Depot mirror. But again, like the rest of the first floor, the bathroom even has this glamorous crown molding. Really beautiful stuff. Okay, now we've seen the entire first floor. Let's work our way down to the basement, see what we can figure out down here. I'm going to turn the lights on because I think it's going to be dark. Again, you can see the stairs, beautiful stained oak, absolutely wonderful. It's good to see they kept the banister and the stairs the same from the basement to the second floor. And when you get down here, you've got a really nice landing area. You can see they got tile down here too. This tile might be a little bit newer. I'm not sure if this would have been finished when the house was finished, so maybe the tiling and everything was done a few years later. You can see again, signs of water damage all on those baseboards there. And they got a nice mirrored wall there, giving a bit of an illusion of size and space down here. And again, another retro light, kind of similar to the one we just saw in that bathroom at the top of the stairs, really. Before we go any further, let you guys have a nice look at the incredible banister coming down. Stairs in this house are really beautiful. So we're gonna go this way, I think, first. See what's in this room. Wow, it's a cold room. Holy mackerel, it's huge. Wow. Really big cold room. Again, you can see this mold and signs of decay everywhere you look. Wow, huge. So here they have a sump pump. So the water tables are high in this area. The power is still on though, so this thing is doing its job. If it didn't, this basement would be flooded. You got a fairly big window for a basement window there. But yeah, you can see this is an 80s home. Aspenite floors, styrofoam for insulation, soundproofing between the joists. You don't see any of that anymore. These cabinets are very strange looking. It looks like they tried to paint them and didn't do a good job. You can even see, like, I guess this is water damage. One of the leaks must be coming through here, but, oh, there's even like a mushroom. Weird. But yeah, you can see like the structure is starting to collapse in here a bit. Good thing the rest of it's concrete, or else it might actually come down. And as we go this way, we'll check out the other half of this gigantic cold room. And over here, you've got all the electrical. Wow. Got electrical controllers. That doesn't want to open. Okay, forget it. More electrical. I'm assuming some of this would be for the pools and the rest of it would be for the house. You can see at one point all their TV hookups were down here. You've got the splitters and all the cables that ran through the house. And all the chandeliers they decided not to use before. They didn't throw them away. They just put them down here in case, they ever wanted to look at them again. Look at this one. I wonder where this one was. Do you think this was in the kitchen? Or do you think this was in the hallway? Or do you think this was in the dining room? What do you think this one was most suitable for? It's got a lot of color, some interesting characters dancing around. We saw a light similar to this one upstairs, and I don't think we saw anything like that upstairs. But I guarantee you guys, all three of these were in the house at one point in time. Pretty interesting. You got a couple of light shades over here, and an empty cabinet here, so there's not much to see in here. All right, so let's leave the cold room now, and we'll work our way through the rest of this basement. Of course, as you come through here, you come back out to the basement landing. It's a very big basement, I think. Hopefully it's as beautiful as the rest of the house. As we go this way, you got some stuff left behind here, but nothing too crazy. A lot of boxes, you got a Ninja, you got, what is that, a juicer or something? Yeah, it's a juicer. Just all sorts of random things left behind they didn't want anymore, I guess. What's this? I have no idea what this is. I'm sure somebody will tell me. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But yeah, beautiful room. I'm not actually sure what this space would have been for. It's not a bedroom. Again, it's got a nice view out the basement window there. It's a fairly large basement window. And you got a very vintage looking light here too. Very unusual looking. Almost looks like it's from the 70s. Again, it's so eccentric looking. It just, no offense to the Italians, it just feels like an Italian home. And I really mean that in the nicest way. I just want to reiterate that. You can see somebody smashed out the drywall here, but the backside of it's all moldy. Look at that. So this place definitely had some problems. Maybe it flooded once. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is the main area of the basement. All right, just before we get into that, you guys tell me in the comments, what is this room? Is this a hangout room? I mean, it's tile floors, so it doesn't seem comfortable enough to sit on the floor and watch TV or, hang out all the time type of space, but maybe I'm wrong. So we come in here and we got another vintage light here, and this one actually looks a lot like the one in the cold room that I just pointed out to you guys. And this area here is the main entertainment area of the house for sure. The entire, like 3/4 of the basement is this. So this is like the rec room, basement family room, hangout area. You got the bar over there, which we're gonna get into in a minute. And you can see there's tons of space down here for people to do things. Got a really cool looking stove here. It's been gutted though, but it's obviously real. You can see it's used, but like there seems to be things missing here. I'm not sure would have went in those holes. And obviously the vent is missing. So, it never even had anything to connect to. So, how would this work? This got nowhere to vent to, but obviously somebody's tried to have a fire in it. That's weird. You can see that this is not real interior brick. It's actually just glued to the wall, but it's, real pieces of brick. I still think it looks decent. You can see in here, it's a little hacky looking. It's not straight. It looks like someone might have did it themselves. But yeah, over here you got a fridge, KitchenAid fridge. There's nothing in it. Doesn't stink, so unfortunately you guys will not be able to enjoy the sights and sounds of a smelly fridge today. The fridge farter was not here. It's a very big basement though. As I stand here looking around one more time, very big space. You could have had, a TV over there. You could have had the TV area over here. With the fireplace being over here, in theory, this would be the entertainment area in my eyes. I would set everything up around this. And then back here, you could have had jukeboxes. You could have had, your bar, and you could have, had like a pool table or something. And as I'm saying that, I'm wondering if they did, but there's no Tiffany light hanging, so I don't think they ever actually did have a pool table down here. But they do have a bar, so there was probably music and good times down here at one time. You can see this bar is, very typical of something from the late 80s, early 90s again, from the actual design of it to the coloring of the staining and everything. This is very typical from that area. I believe this is all laminated. Yes, it is. You can literally see this is glued on. This side's glued on. So all these are laminated, not solid wood. Still, it looks decent. And this is a very cool bar space. It even looks like they left something behind here. What is this? Cazadores, Blanco, tequila. So they left that behind. And you got some Glacier Bay toilet seat here. I'm not sure why it's at the bar. And of course, you got a nice little bar sink under there. As you look around, they left all their French fry containers here. I'm not sure what those are for either. And they have some kind of basic shelving. I'm going to say this isn't the nicest shelving considering this house, but they had some shelving here, I guess, for the liquor or sort of some display items to be behind the bar. Also worth noting is the shape of the opening to the bar. Obviously, they didn't have to do this when they built it, but they did. And it looks kind of neat. It almost looks like something from the 70s. Kind of cool. Of course, as you come out here, this is the rest of the basement over here. And here are the signs of lots of water damage. Look at the bottom of the bar there. You can literally see it's moldy and getting corroded looking. Corroded's not the right word. Looks like it's rotting. But over here, literally have stains, and you got black mold, like really bad. And you can actually see there's water on the floor right now, dripping through the ceiling here. Oh, look at that, it's the pipes. That's scary. But yeah, look at that. All that's rusty. The ceiling tiles are getting moldy. You got mold behind the paint there. So if you punch a hole through this drywall, the other side is just completely black, which is really scary and kind of disgusting. But, it's unfortunate. This place is going to sit like this until it's gone. And if you were to go through this window would take you out to that incredible sunroom we were just in. But this guy's kind of scary here. I wonder why he's hanging out here. He's trying to give bad vibes to my video, I think. But yeah, you turn around here, and this is the view of the basement from this side here. You got the bar there. You got tons of open space, obviously running across, right across to that incredible stove in that fake fireplace area. I'm still trying to figure that one out. You guys let me know in the comments why they did that the way they did. Now, obviously, these are pillars here that they've covered in wood. Tried to class it up a bit. I think they did a good job. Looks a lot better than the steel beams that you would have seen. But other than that, there's not much else to point out in this area. Oh, actually, I did notice one more thing. It looks like at one point in time they had wood paneling walls. Well, they still do. They just painted over it. So I bet you if you came here, you know, in the 80s, for instance, or early 90s when this house was new, this was probably wood paneling, and probably the tacky kind, which is why they painted over it. And it looks like it goes around this wall here, but once you get to the windowed wall, it looks like it stops. Really big basement. Really, really big. Obviously, you can see it's a little bit outdated. Well, pretty outdated. It looks like it's the 90s in here still. But it's a big, beautiful space, and obviously a lot could have been done with it if this house was not going to be demolished. Of course, coming this way brings you back out to the basement landing here with the mirrored wall and the cold room door. I'll just show you guys the perspective of the stairs from here. And if you look up, look at that. Beautiful view of the chandelier. Of course, the sky as it's getting darker and darker here because it's almost dark outside. Beautiful. Okay, so there's one more thing I want to show you guys before we finish this one up. Obviously here, got some storage under the stairs, nothing too crazy or surprising. But we still have another area to go to over here before we wrap the video up. I just want to make sure what I said to you guys was true. Yeah, there's no more wood paneling, it's just the back wall here. So you go through here now, and you got at least one more room here. This is the furnace room and water cooler room, or water heater room, I should say. And it looks like somebody was here in 2014. And that, I don't know. Okay. So I got to point out again, I've only seen this once before, but this is the laundry room or the furnace room. And as you can see, they've tiled the floor, and the tiling of this basement actually runs throughout the entire basement. So, like I mentioned a couple times, this is obviously the home of some people that had some money. They took a lot of pride in their home, and they took a lot of care of their home, and that's why they tiled every inch of the basement floor. That's why everything is as nice as it could be, because they obviously had a lot of pride and love for this place. They even painted this room, like right to where the city water hookup is. Like, I've never seen this before. I've never seen a city water hookup in a drywalled area. They even put baseboards and tile around it. Like, tons of pride was taken in this home. It's amazing to see, and it's nice to see, because not too many, there's some people out there that don't appreciate what they have at all. But, sorry, I was still looking for a date on that thing, but it looks like there's no other dates. This is a strange part, though. The back side of the front, and I have to say, I've seen this in one other house too. The other house that had tile floors also had a furnace room in the back corner of the basement. Sorry, a bathroom in the back corner of the basement. And that's the same thing here. You got a furnace room, and you go to the very back part of it, and you got a nice bathroom. I would love to know how frequently this bathroom is used and who used it. I mean, it's a nice bathroom too. Look at the tile work in the shower. Kind of matches the one upstairs that I was complimentary of. It's very nice. Got very old faucets there. Those look like they're from the 70s or older. But even the floor tile's nice. And of course they have marble going around the entryway of this shower. Like, this is a nice area, a nice bathroom for a part of the house that would almost never be used. You can see even the brown bomber hasn't been here. It looks like someone might have took a leak in there and it's just rotted away. But other than that, this house has been free of the brown bomber. This is the newest cabinet in the house. Those are the newest hinges we've seen. This is all laminate, even the inside. And of course, it's actually got beautiful granite again and a bit of a modern faucet. And of course, you have the Home Depot mirror that somebody got mad at and punched. But yeah, this is strange. This is only the second house I've seen with a tiled furnace room, and it just happens to be very similar in the respect that a bathroom is in the back corner. It's just bizarre. As we go this way, I see there's another sump pump here. So this house has a couple of them. This actually, I don't think this is an actual pump, but I think it's hooked up to the pump. I'm not actually sure how this works. I don't think these go out, but you can clearly see there's a water control there. Somebody knows better than me, tell me what this is. It obviously has something to do with the sump system. There's power hooked up to it, but I don't think it's an actual pump here. Of course, from here, there's only one more spot to go, and that's to the garage. So again, that's the basement there. And from here, This takes us out to the garage, and this will actually be the end of the video because I told you guys this is how it's going to come out. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment afterwards, and of course share this video out to help the channel and the video grow. As we come up these stairs, we've now completed the tour of this house, and I really enjoyed this one, and I hope you guys did too. This was quite the place. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today's Explore. I hope you guys enjoyed coming on this one with me. This was an absolutely incredible home built way back in 1988. It's obviously been sitting abandoned now for at least a couple of years, as it unfortunately awaits its demolition and replacement with a new modern home. If you guys enjoyed coming on this adventure with me, please make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment afterwards about something you saw here that you liked, and of course, share the video out to help the channel and the video grow. Well, that's all the time we have for today's Explore. If you haven't already and you enjoyed this one, please make sure you hit that subscribe button over there. Check out last week's video there. Check out the random video up there. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.